The UDAY scheme aimed at financially streamlining power distribution companies owned by various state governments has seen some success, but these victories have been patchy. Experts say that if the momentum granted by the UDAY Discom Assurance Yojana, that's the UDAY scheme, is to be maintained, state governments must pick up the slack. Here's a CNBC TV 18 special report. Since Power Minister Piyush Goyal launched the UDAY Discom Assurance Yojana or UDAY in November 2015, a number of participating states have seen their power distribution companies undergo a financial revival. Currently, 75% of the 4.3 lakh crore rupees that appeared as debt on the balance sheets of state discoms have been converted into state-backed bonds. And till December 2016, state governments have together saved over 11,900 crore rupees in interest costs. States like Rajasthan, Haryana and Tamil Nadu have seen a reduction in technical and commercial losses of power as well. And the gap between the average cost of supply and the revenue realized has come down sharply across India by as much as 7 paise per unit. But in a few states, this gap is still high. Discoms in Rajasthan, for instance, are operating with a cost realization gap of 74 paise per unit. In Bihar, it's 71 paise per unit, and in UP, it's 66 paise per unit. One big reason for this is that some of these states have not pushed discoms to revise tariffs, often because power tariffs are a political hot potato. UP and Tamil Nadu, for instance, were among the 5 discoms carrying the heaviest debt burden, but neither have yet filed petitions to revise tariffs for FY18. Bihar has been the only state to have hiked tariffs by 55%, but state subsidies have pushed the effective impact down to just 28%. Crystal says the only way this situation can be turned around if states take concrete steps to improve efficiency and operations at discoms.
Centers, they have done, whatever best they can do through UDAY, but the action now lies with the states. So states also need to come on board, whether through the change of some legislation. And I'm not saying that outright privatization. You can also look at the role of, maybe a joint venture role with central government playing some role, or also option of, private sector playing some role through management control or management contract in some of the areas. So this, I think, is something, and all options need to be looked at to assure this. There is a actual turnaround happens in discom. Otherwise, we will be, in 2 or 3 years again in the same situation in some of the states.
Outright privatization of discoms may not be a politically viable option, but experts say alternative business models like the outsourcing of billing and revenue collections may work. Some state governments, it appears, are already in talks to get such models off the ground.
I know of a lot of states who are slowly looking at multiple models of distribution franchisee. So within that, we have a input-based calibrated capex model. We have another management operator model now coming up in certain states. These are all models of private participation, which at the end of the day helps the discoms to achieve the UDAY's objectives.
This ties into CNBC TV 18's recent report that NTPC might be looking at entering the power distribution business. Experts say this has 2 advantages. One, it removes the fear of privatization of state discoms since NTPC is a central PSU. And 2, NTPC can put its experience of operating as a commercially sound enterprise to set discoms right. But analysts add that whatever the chosen solution, state governments must act quickly because UDAY has no exit plan, meaning the onus of funding losses if the targets under UDAY are not met will fall on state governments. In New Delhi with Anshu Sharma, this is Shireen Bhan.